Lustig sein, fröhlich sein, hüpf, heirasa. Lustig sein, fröhlich sein, hüpf, heirasa. Orchas kommt von draußen rein, hola hi, hola ho, willkommen mein Mädchen sein.
Ah, Lutz, my friend.
I must remind you once again, Herr Professor, I am not your friend.
Ah, but I am yours. Oh, you're a lucky fellow, Lucy.
My name is Lutz.
Ah.
And as usual, Professor Juckner, you will be late. What can His Highness learn from you? A teacher and you can't even tell time.
Small minds tick with the clock.
His Highness is always punctual.
That's what I've been trying to do. Educate him out of it. Yes.
I don't know why I bother with you.
It's your duty, Lucy, my lad.
I only do it to please His Highness.
Ah.
His Highness's very words to me were, I should esteem it a favor, my dear Lutz, if you could make the professor look more presentable. And I said, I should esteem it an honor, Your Highness.
Every man is entitled to his honor. Oh, be late.
Most appropriate sermon, considering the day.
Thank you, Your Majesty. Permit me to congratulate Your Royal Highness on your forthcoming betrothal. And may I include good wishes for Princess Johanna of Nordhausen.
Thank you. She will be here tomorrow, and you can extend them to her in person.
She is as gracious as she is beautiful. This marriage has truly been planned in heaven.
Our Prime Minister is too modest. Von Mark planned it years ago when the Princess and I were still children. Of course, with your blessings, Grandfather.
Should Your Royal Highness feel the need of spiritual guidance and comfort, I am at your command.
My guidance and comfort have always been the knowledge that I'm doing my duty for Carlsberg.
Well, Carl, I have taken care of all the preliminaries, but victory or defeat is in your hands. Tomorrow may well decide the future of our country. So when you propose to the princess, I count on you to carry it off with your usual efficiency.
It won't be too difficult. From her pictures, she seems very attractive.
And in a receptive mood.
Why not? It is true they have the money, but we have the blood. They are merchants. We are kings.
Oh, I should avoid that subject, my boy. She can afford to be fussy.
Don't worry, Grandfather. For such a dowry, I'd marry a princess with two heads.
Then I need scarcely remind you that our treasury is empty.
Our treasury has been empty for 200 years. Yet somehow we have survived.
We have survived when other thrones have fallen, not because we have been rich, but because the men of our family have always been extremely eligible. Our coat of arms reminds us our wealth is in our sons.
Sir, when I hold her in my arms, I will do my best for Carlsberg.
Her Royal Highness, the Princess Johanna of Nordhausen.
Ferdy. I believe Carl is even better looking than you were at his age.
Not at all. My dear Matilda, it's just that time has dimmed your memory.
Perhaps. But at any rate, they make a very handsome couple.
I can already see their profiles on a coin.
Mother was very impressed with the troop maneuvers today.
I'm pleased to hear it. And what did you think of it?
After all these years, I still think parades are great fun, don't you?
Fun, Johanna? Training our troops is my responsibility, and I assure you it's the hardest kind of work. One can't ever let up.
I see. That doesn't leave much time for relaxation or for dances like this, does it?
Very little. Why? Does my dancing show it?
Your Highness dances with firmness and decision. But the throne of Carlsberg won't fall if you loosen your knees a bit.
Forgive me. I've always considered the parade ground more important than the dance floor. Perhaps one of my junior officers.
Everyone's looking at us. I didn't come to Carlsberg to find a dancing partner. Why don't you invite me to see the view from the gardens? There now. This is much better. No one is looking at us. So perhaps we can at last look at each other.
It's almost time for us to receive the diplomatic corps of both kingdoms.
Let them wait. We owe ourselves a little time together.
Surely we'll have plenty of opportunity in the future.
I don't consider marriage an introduction. Aren't you curious to know what kind of a person you may spend the rest of your life with? I confess I am.
Oh, you needn't be. I shall be a most punctilious and considerate husband.
Carl, come here. Look at me. Forget your princely self-possession for a moment. I'm sure that even that great warrior, Frederick what's his name?
Frederick the Bold.
Even he must have had time for other things. After all, he did found a dynasty. We're quite alone. Quite alone.
I hope I misjudge, Your Highness. I cannot assume that the future Queen of Carlsberg wishes to be treated like the ordinary woman one encounters on maneuvers.
Ah, then you have encountered other women.
What a question.
But that's no answer.
Very well, I have on many occasions.
I find it hard to believe that.
Perhaps I can convince you. Well?
Typically Carlsberg, well-trained and precise. Your arms are very strong, Carl, but your heart doesn't beat any faster. You are a king, first, last, and always, and you'll never forget it.
You compliment me.
I don't mean to. Kings bore me. The Prussian virtues are impressive, but cold comfort on a long winter's night.
Some coffee?
No, thank you. You've ruined my sleep as it is.
My dear Ferdy, I am merely giving you Johanna's opinion. You asked me to find out, and I'm telling you. Carl won't do.
Just what does she expect?
A human being, not a Prussian machine.
Carl was raised to be a soldier. He is admired by his regiment.
Johanna came to get a husband, not to enlist.
The world is full of husbands, but there are very few crown princes. I don't know how you raised this girl, but even she should see that Carl is no ordinary fellow.
But there are times when even a prince should behave like an ordinary fellow. I know how important this alliance is to you, Ferdy, but you must face facts.
You too, Matilda, must face facts. Money will not get you what you want.
What do you mean?
An interesting thing has happened to the royal families of Europe. Every queen you encounter has 3 or 4 daughters to marry off. But there are mighty few royal princes around.
There are 8 sons in Grubnik.
They never bathe.
There's Prince Olaf.
He has buck teeth. You want your grandchildren to have buck teeth?
Ferdy, that's blackmail.
Well, even a king must live.
Well, let's not quarrel. We both want this marriage. I'm not blaming Carl. It's your fault. You've taken a perfectly nice boy and brought him up to be a Prussian pickle.
Pickle? He has the best education.
Not education, training. You haven't taught him how to get along with people. There'd be no problem with Johanna if you'd only get him to radiate a little warmth and charm.
Warmth and charm.
Professor Juttner, did His Majesty send for you too?
Well, it must be serious. After all, it's the middle of the night.
What do you think it's all about, Professor?
Perhaps they're going to behead me for teaching you to read and write. I was merely obeying orders. I myself am against higher education for the nobility.
Well, they can't behead me. I'm the heir apparent.
If you knew more history, you'd be more worried. Yeah.
Warmth and charm, that's what you need. Warmth and charm. The friendly smile, the cordial hand clasp, that's the new order of the day.
But why is that important?
The princess thinks it's important, that's why it's important. You are a Prussian machine. I saw you with the princess tonight. You danced as if you were storming a fortress. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You call that dancing? You're not much better.
I wasn't engaged as a dancing master.
What were you engaged for?
To educate him.
He's not educated, he's trained. What have you been doing with your time?
Following your orders.
Never mind my orders. Just do as I tell you.
Now, please, don't blame the boy, Your Majesty. Each year, more and more time has been stolen from studies and given to marksmanship, military maneuvers, fencing masters. His Highness has had no time for the graces of living.
From now on, you'll study the graces of living. I hold you responsible. Order whatever books you need.
Oh, books won't help, sir. No. True education comes from people. I said it before, and I say it again. He should have gone to Heidelberg. Mixed with people of his own age. Learn to get along with them.
There are hundreds of universities. Why Heidelberg?
For me, there is only one university. I went to Heidelberg, Your Majesty.
Very well, we go to Heidelberg. Make the arrangements.
Heidelberg. Who does Johanna think she is? Why should I be made over just to please her?
Because there are 8 princes in Grubnik.
They never bathe.
There's Prince Olaf.
He has buck teeth.
I will not listen to these silly arguments. As soon as possible, you leave for Heidelberg. And beginning this instant, you will radiate warmth and charm. That's a command.
Come from here and Bavaria, Russia and Bavaria. Here we are, when the red will get home. Later he exploded just from his from Pompoly. From Pompoly is hot and it's baby. It's got the kind of kick you only get from mules. From Pompoly is his sign. More the racing is his sign. Way up on high, high, high to
Clear the way. Clear the way, savages. We wish to get to the street.
And then he gives a house. All through life we're learning things we all should know, to our school returning.
Well, I don't know if Lutz will enjoy Heidelberg, but Heidelberg is certainly enjoying Lutz.
In my opinion, Herr Doctor, I suppose we have to call them students. These students are a little too old for this behavior.
Oh, the first day of term. Good spirits. The excitement of seeing old friends again. Now, you just give it a chance, and I'm sure you'll find good fellowship very catchy.
Like measles. Let's find a carriage.
Class of 1874.
God. Willie Klauber! Well, what are you doing here, eh? What are you doing in Heidelberg? Didn't they ever let you graduate?
Graduate? I'm a full professor.
No. Oh, heaven help the younger generation. Why, when I knew you, you couldn't even spell.
And what brings you here?
Herr Professor Klauber, I have the honor to present my pupil. Oh, I don't have a pupil, and I don't have the honor.
Cab. Just a minute. That's my cab.
New here?
Yes, and let me tell you.
Let me tell you a word of advice. When it comes to cabs, beer, and women, if you want them, grab them and hang on to them.
When I want advice, I'll ask for it. Do you know who I am?
We're very broad-minded in Heidelberg. We let anybody in.
Come on, hop in. Don't stand there like a sticker. You'll get left. Smile just once and you can have my seat. And I'll sit in your lap. Prussian pickle.
To the inn we're marching, for our throats are parching under fruit trees, marching in the month of May. For there's no good fellow when he's feeling mellow from the beer so yellow would delay. To the inn we're going where the beer is flowing and will soon be flowing off the foam on top. And as we're explaining, there'll be no refraining till we're all through draining every drop. All in step, we're swinging while we join in singing with our voices ringing in a merry rhyme. There is joy abounding in our song, resounding while our signs are pounding all the time. Now the spring we're greeting with our merry meeting and our day completing with a mug of beer. To the inn we're heading, all our cares we're shedding as we start another frontier. To the inn we're marching, for our throats are parching under fruit trees, marching in the month of May. To the inn we're marching, while our throats are parching, marching to the end. To the inn we're marching on. Clear here, turn the barrel upside down. Clear here, what a lovely way to drown.
Louts, savages. You've chosen a madhouse for His Highness.
Dr. Juttner said it was the finest inn in Heidelberg.
Juttner would like this place. Does this carousing go on every day?
No, Your Excellency, only every night.
Who is this person?
Herr Ruder, the owner of the inn.
Well, tell him he's not to speak until we speak to him. Hubert? I will not occupy a suite where I can hear those caterwauling savages.
You can hear them everywhere.
Your Excellency has the same view, the Princess. The river Neckar.
The river, yes. I was coming to that. How considerate when you know I suffer from rheumatism.
Forgive me, Herr Lutz. The river was here when I arrived.
Don't interrupt. I had hoped to come to you and look at you and say, Hubert, I'm satisfied. But I am not satisfied, Hubert. Well, this might serve for an ordinary lackey. But did His Majesty send an ordinary lackey with the prince? No, he sent me.
Hubert? Who is His Excellency?
His Highness's valet.
Valet? Valet? I thought you were a prime minister at least. Let me tell you that this inn has been entertaining royalty for over 300 years.
Oh, they may have lived here, but they were not entertained.
Yes, barons, counts, and dukes.
Never a Prince of Carlsberg.
It's hard to enter Heidelberg.
I warn you, we are not amused by impertinence.
Hubert! Lutz! Hubert, where are my rooms?
Where's His Highness?
Isn't he with you?
No, he's with you.
He's obviously not with me.
Then you've lost the prince.
Lost the prince yet?
I knew you couldn't be trusted.
No, don't get excited. He'll get here, and with more dignity than you did.
You can laugh, but he's my responsibility.
Nonsense. I look after him in Heidelberg.
Only his mind. I look after his body.
Well, this may come as a shock to you, my dear Lutzi, but the mind is more important than the body.
Well, you've got to have a body to be a king.
Well, it's not my worry. His mind isn't lost, only his body. And if anything happens to it, ooh, it'll be you who will hang.
hear you call my friends. There's beer for all my friends. But patience is a virtue Cathy recommends. I fear my ears will burst before I quench your thirst. I really should teach you manners, but let's tap the barrel first. Come, boys, let's all be gay, boys, for education should be scientific play, boys. Don't give your pen and ink, boys. Let every prudent student study how to drink. Although exams are near, boys, though you may flunk because you're drunk, don't shed a tear. Folks may call you rowdy, your reputations may be cloudy. You'll never graduate cum laude, but you'll get a passing mark in drinking beer.
Come, boys, let's burn the beer, boys, and make it clear we're only glad that Cathy's here, boys.
Why waste your time with books, boys?
When every prudent student studies women's looks. Bum, bum, bum.
Let old Professor state, boys, you'll be dismissed because you've kissed a pretty dame.
Gladly we will follow Euripides and Aristotle.
And lift another stein or bottle, boys.
And all together we will celebrate. And lift another stein or bottle, boys. And all together Who is so charming? Who do we adore? Who's so sweet and disarming? Cathy, the queen of the court. Ya, 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 ya. Cathy, the queen of the court. Ya, 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 ya. Cathy's the girl we adore.
Boys, I drink your health.
Cathy! 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 Cathy, Cathy, come. He's here.
Who's here, Uncle?
The prince, of course, his highness. Let me look at you. Turn, oh, wonder, take this off. So, here the bouquet and the welcome song to sing for you. Go, darling.
Oh, Uncle, must I?
Of course it must. What's the matter with you?
I've never done it before, and I'm nervous.
Nervous? Who isn't nervous? There isn't an inn in all Heidelberg with a real-life prince for a tenant. And if he doesn't stay, I shall never leave it done. It's a matter of pride. Besides, he's going to take 6 rooms, you know.
Your Highness, permit me to say
Your Highness, it seems the young lady has something to say to you. Go on, my dear.
Welcome, Highness, to Heruder's Inn. We hope you like our place. There's a room to rest for a royal guest and a bowl for washing your face.
Thank you.
Bravo, that was charming. What is your name, young lady?
Cathy.
Your Highness, it is my duty to remark.
Excuse. My niece, Your Highness.
This is the landlord, Joseph Ruder.
Yeah, that's right. That's me. At your service, Your Highness. Your rooms are ready. If you will, now let's show you the suite.
Permit me, Your Highness, this is no place for the heir apparent to the throne of Carlsberg.
Why, Lutz?
Well, the beds are lumpy, the linen is cotton, and as you hear, it's a low drinking place for students who come here to behave like ruffians.
Nonsense. I know this inn. There are no palaces here. This is a place for students, not for lackeys and chamberlains. Oh, in my opinion, it is perfect.
In my opinion, it is impossible.
In my opinion, His Highness should form his own opinion. Permit me, Your Highness. And the shelf up here has plenty of room for hats. It's even high enough to put a crown on.
I rarely take a crown when I travel. My grandfather prefers I leave it in the vault.
And this is the most comfortable bed in the inn.
For the present, I'll take your word for that.
I put 2 feather beds on. They'll keep you warm on the coldest night. And the springs are good, too. See?
I endorse the springs.
Now, in the sitting room, if Your Highness will be good enough to go into the sitting room.
Thank you.
Every evening I'll bring up an eiderdown quilt and put it on your bed so that it's nice and warm for you when you go to sleep.
You frighten me. It's the first day of May, and you speak as though I should expect a blizzard.
Oh, no, Your Highness. Why, from now until autumn, the weather is as mild and fresh, lovely as can be. There. Oh, did you ever smell such air? Go ahead, take a deep breath.
The quality seems excellent.
Oh, right from Your Highness' window is the most beautiful view in all of Heidelberg. You can see the river Neckar and way up on the mountain, the castle.
I gather that you, Cathy, that is your name, isn't it? That you are most anxious to make sure that I am comfortable in every way. Good. But what happens if some other person, less understanding, should appear on the scene?
My uncle has put me in complete charge. Your Highness' slightest wish will be my command.
It's a comfort to know that the necessities will be taken care of. However, I hope that Heidelberg will afford some pleasure, too. Do you think it will?
The students are a lot of fun, and there are beer parties, and here's a piano.
Why, so it is.
I hope Your Highness likes music. It's a wonderful way to pass time.
I look forward to many musical evenings in your company. That little song you greeted me with. I recognize the melody, but did you write the words?
I know the words were silly, but Uncle Rudder made them up specially for you, and I wouldn't hurt his feelings for anything. The real words are lovely.
I know. Why don't you sing them for me? Well, go ahead, I insist.
Very well.
When it's summertime in Heidelberg, there's beauty everywhere. All the trees are dressed in their Sunday best, and the brass band plays in the square. Every day is like a holiday, strolling underneath the sun. All the Fräuleins wear flowers in their hair, with a smile to spare for everyone. The fragrant breeze, the linden trees, the promenade where lovers stray. But have a care, or someone there may steal your heart away. Strange things happen on a summer night when the bells begin to chime. It could happen to someone just like you down in Heidelberg in summertime.
Uncle Ruta's words and my voice. No wonder you smiled when I sang to you.
Just a moment. You haven't been dismissed yet. In Carlsberg, it is not the custom to walk out on royalty.
I beg your highness pardon. If your highness will excuse me.
But before you go, there's just one more thing.
Your highness wishes something?
Yes, just this.
I don't know about the custom in Carlsberg, your highness, but at Ruta's Inn that does not come with the service.
History, Lutz.
Ancient or modern, Your Highness?
Ancient. Is this the lecture hall for ancient history?
Yes. New student, eh?
Yes.
Registered for this course? What is your name?
I am Karl Franz of Carlsberg.
Franz. Oh, yes, here you are. Right inside, Herr Franz.
Herr Franz?
Move on, Herr Franz. You'll be late.
Don't block the aisle.
His Excellency, Professor Klauber. What's the matter with you, Herr Franz? Stamp your feet like the others. Professor Klauber is coming in. Both feet. You're no different from the rest.
Welcome to ancient history, gentlemen. It's a new term, and we'll start with a new phase. It may as well be your phase. All history is a record of significant milestones in the development of man. Can you name just one such contribution in the 500 years before the Christian era? Just one. That shouldn't be too difficult.
I am aware of many. I was merely trying to select the most important. The conquests of Alexander the Great.
Accurate, but not as important as another conquest. While Alexander was beating people over the head, Aristotle was awakening the minds of men.
Can the Herr Professor name a figure of greater strength than Alexander?
The gorilla. We will discuss Aristotle. Herr Bauer.
The social graces, indeed. Warmth and charm. But it certainly didn't charm me when that officious nobody called me Herr Franz. They have no manners.
That's quite polite in talking to a freshman. But if it bothered you, why didn't you tell him who you were?
At first I didn't have a chance. And then I realized he wasn't the sort of fellow who'd be impressed by it.
Ah, you've learned a lot in one day.
They're the ones that have to learn. If they had any knowledge of tradition, they'd know better than to order me to stamp my feet just because a professor comes into the room.
It's a matter of respect. Who was the professor?
Klauber.
The Nobel Prize winner. It's in the finest tradition to honor such a man. He's a full professor.
And I am a prince.
A position of no academic distinction.
My dear Herr Doctor, you find this very amusing, don't you?
My dear boy, if you would only relax, you'd find it amusing too. Listen to them. They're having a wonderful time. If you could only be one of them, a student.
Why should I pretend to be nobody when I am somebody? All your philosophy doesn't alter the fact that quality is born in a man.
That's very shrewd, Your Highness. And very true.
But in Heidelberg, they either don't know it or they don't care.
Oh, no, my boy, no. You see, in Carlsberg, the quality is in the title. In Heidelberg, the quality is in the man. Come in.
Excuse me, Your Highness, dinner is ready. Would you prefer it in the privacy of your room or on the terrace?
When do the ordinary students eat?
In this weather, on the terrace.
Very well. On the terrace, please.
Thank you.
You take a great deal for granted, Herr Doctor.
Oh, no, I'm a slave to orders. His Majesty put me in charge here. Well, I'll go to my room and freshen up and meet you here in a few moments.
Don't hurry yourself. I hope I have your permission to go to the terrace, Herr Professor.
Good evening, Your Highness. Would you like your dinner right now?
Yes.
What would Your Highness like?
What do the ordinary students eat? Kathy, you haven't been dismissed yet.
I'm sorry, Your Highness. I seem to have forgotten again.
I'm not so sure you forgot. What's this?
Kraut and Knockwurst. Good, isn't it?
Are you still here?
You haven't dismissed me. It's good, isn't it?
It's, not bad.
It's very good. I can see you like it, and it won't hurt you to admit it.
All right, then. I like it.
It's even better with beer.
I don't think it could be. It is.
It's difficult for all new students the first day, and it must be even harder for Your Highness. But you know, once you get used to Heidelberg, you'll find you like a lot of things you never dreamed you'd like.
I didn't come to Heidelberg for amusement.
Well, what difference does it make if you have fun anyway? It doesn't cost any more. You know, you ought to join a corps. You know, it's more fun than Kraut and Knockwurst.
If you say so. Now, what corps do you like best?
Oh, the Westphalians. They are all fine, friendly boys who seem to have more fun than any other corps.
Then I'll join the Westphalians.
Oh, no, Your Highness. They haven't a title among them. You belong with the Saxo-Borussians. They don't accept commoners. They're all barons, counts, and dukes. No princes, but there aren't enough princes around to make a corps.
That presents a problem. I'll need your advice. Sit down, Kathy.
I shouldn't, Your Highness. May I be dismissed?
You may not.
You have me at a great disadvantage, Your Highness.
That's the way I want you to be. Sit down. Now then, you said you liked the Westphalians. Is it because they haven't any titles amongst them?
Oh, I assure Your Highness, I have the greatest respect for the nobility. You are all nice young men, but
But what? Well, go on. I insist.
It would be most presumptuous of me to...
I give you permission to be presumptuous. Well, go on.
Well, for one thing, the nobility doesn't seem to be taught manners. Etiquette, yes, but manners, no. They don't ask, they take.
I see. Then if I weren't a prince, you'd like me better.
I don't know, but at least I'd get a chance to see what you're really like.
Try it. Forget that I am a prince.
It is not for me to forget that, Your Highness.
All right, then. I'm just one of the students, just plain Karl Franz. We're equals. Just a minute. I didn't say you could go.
Well, if we're equals, I can go when I choose.
You're not giving me a fair chance, Kathy. I want us to be friends. Treat me as you do the others, will you? Try.
It's impossible. After all, you are a prince, and I work here. What will people say?
Oh, don't worry so much about my reputation.
Oh, no, Your Highness. It's my reputation I'm worried about.
Well, Kathy, is the food here as good as I remember it?
Better, Dr. Eustace. I'll set another place.
Thank you. I owe Your Highness an apology. After all, it's only the first day. I fear I was much too severe.
You were quite right, Dr. Yuttner. I just had confirmation of your point of view.
Oh, amazing. In 10 minutes, Kathy, you accomplished more than I've been trying to do for 10 years. It wasn't all kraut and knutwurst, was it, my dear? Eh?
Hello, Kathy. Ah, I don't remember seeing you here before. New here? My name is Lucas, student officer of the Westphalian Corps. Now, my dear Kathy, present these gentlemen to me.
I have the honor to introduce you.
My name is Herr Franz. My friend, Dr. Juttner.
Dr. Juttner. My dear Herr Franz, let me welcome you to Heidelberg.
Thank you, Herr Lucas. Our friend Kathy has just been telling me about your corps. Won't you sit down, please, and you can tell me more about it.
Thank you. Well, we're not supposed to boast about our corps, so what I shall say is a gross understatement. It just happens to be the finest corps in Heidelberg. Why, even in the words of our glorious provost, the Westphalians can drink any other corpsman under the table. Their skill with sword and saber is second to none. That, too, the provost will tell you.
I'm sure the provost will tell you. He's an old Westphalian himself.
Then who would know better?
Flagging a fox, Lucas. This is becoming a bad habit of his. He lures them away before a gentleman has a chance to look them over.
No one that would interest you, Count. Count von Osterberg of the Saxo-Borussians, Dr. Juttner, and Herr Franz.
I've heard your corps highly praised, Count von Osterberg.
There are many who envy us. You are very fortunate, Herr Franz. Aside from the Saxo-Borussians, there isn't a better corps than the Westphalians.
Oh, don't go yet, Count. Why don't you join us? I'll order some beer, and you can sit down and tell us about your corps.
Perhaps some other time.
Oh, now is as good a time as any.
We have no vacancy, Herr Franz.
I'm prepared to wait.
There are certain requirements, Herr Franz. A man must stick to his class. And a person like you would find himself very uncomfortable in our circle. Good night.
He's a decent chap, really, but you pressed him hard.
I forgive him.
Will he forgive you?
You'll have no choice.
Come, meet the Westphalians.
Come on.
Silencium. Gentlemen, we have a new recruit, and a good one at that. There's only one thing against him. He eats well, drinks well, and looks as though he can afford to pay for it. I give you Karl Franz.
Welcome.
Victor, Cap. Beer here.
Disgraceful. I shall report you for this, Dr. Juttner. Mingling with commoners.
Why report me? I'm living like a king.
But you permit His Highness to contaminate himself with the rabble.
Well, when His Highness retires tonight, let's see, you can burn his clothes and fumigate him.
Gentlemen, Salamander.
Salamander. No. Salamander. No. Salamander. X.
Drink it down in one breath.
Drink, 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 drink. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift your stein and drink your beer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift your stein and drink your beer. Drink, drink, drink. 2 eyes that are bright as stars when they're shining on me.
Drink, drink, drink.
2 lips that
Are red and sweet as the fruit on the tree. Here's a hope that those bright eyes will shine, lovingly, longingly, soon into mine. May those lips that are red and sweet tonight with joy my own lips meet. Drink, drink, let the toast start. May young hearts never part. Drink, drink, drink. Let every true lover salute his sweetheart.
Drink, drink, 2 arms that are wide and warm as the rose in the sun. Drink, 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 2 hearts that will love one only when I am the one.
Here's a hope that those soft arms will twine. All I ask is the right to see those smiling eyes beguiling me. Drink, drink, let the toast start. May young hearts never part.
drink. Let every true lover salute his sweetheart. Let's drink.
Let's go. Here. Let's go.
Please, Your Highness.
No, not Your Highness. Just Carl.
Please, Carl.
I took your advice. Surely I deserve a reward.
Your Highness.
Oh, go away, Lutz.
I'm sorry, Your Highness. I shouldn't have done that. It's not your fault. You've just had too much beer.
Oh, no. Don't blame it on the beer.
I prefer to think it's the beer.
When I'd prefer you didn't think that. Good night, Kathy.
Are we alone?
Alone? No, we are together. What's the matter?
His Highness Karl Franz, heir apparent to the throne of Carlsberg, Knight Commander of the Grand Order of Frederick the Bold, and so on, has just been assaulted.
Where?
On the premises. Your niece knocked him down.
Maybe he got fresh.
Princes do not get fresh. They occasionally make advances. You realize what will come of this, Ruder?
He won't get fresh again.
You take this very lightly, but I do not. It is my pleasure to inform you that the consequences will be disastrous.
Thank you. If it would... Disastrous? What are you talking about?
In Carlsberg, for what your niece dared to do, she would probably be beheaded.
Please, Herr Lutz, don't make a big pudding out of nothing. You and I, we are men of the world.
I am not.
Neither am I. I'm just trying to make a living. But I don't cause you trouble. Why must you cause me trouble?
It is not a personal matter. I have sworn to uphold the honor and dignity of the Royal House of Carlsberg. In my weekly report to the Royal Household in Carlsberg, I shall include this unfortunate incident. The report will go to the Minister of Internal Affairs. He will submit it to the Prime Minister von Mark. Von Mark will notify our ambassador in Berlin. It will be presented to the German Foreign Office. They will submit the matter to His Majesty the Kaiser. The Kaiser will communicate with the Chancellor of Heidelberg University. The Chancellor will communicate with the Burgermeister. The Burgermeister will convene the aldermen of the city of Heidelberg. They will summon you, Herr Ruder.
What can I do? Dear kind Lutz, my good friend, what do you want me to do?
The prince is my responsibility. Your niece is yours.
I will warn her. She will never bother His Highness again.
That is not the solution. His Highness may wish to bother her. Get rid of her.
My own niece? My sister's daughter?
Now, stop sniveling. This is no time for sloppy sentimentality, Ruder. Exile her. Banish her from this place.
Exile her, banish her. Why? Exile her, banish her. Exile her. Exile her, banish her. Exile her, banish her. Kathy, what's the first thing I taught you when you came here?
The customer is always right.
That's right.
No, it's wrong.
You mean it wasn't the first thing I taught you?
Oh, yes, that's right. But that the customer is always right, that's not right, that's wrong.
Right, wrong, right, this I know. When you got the prince for a customer, you got trouble. Those people are always talking to each other. The prince to the prime minister, the king to the Kaiser. The more they talk, the more trouble I have got.
Don't get upset, Uncle. There won't be any trouble.
I knew you would be sensible.
Very sensible. I'm leaving in the morning.
When I... What? My own niece leaving me?
Well, as long as he's here, this is no place for me. I'll get another job.
But how will I look after you? I'm your only family.
Don't worry, Uncle. I'll be all right.
I don't worry. Maybe if you try to apologize.
Why should I apologize?
Why? Because you assaulted him.
Oh, you know about that.
Yes.
And do you know he tried to get fresh with me?
But he's a prince. You cannot go around assaulting a prince.
That's why I'm leaving.
But if you apologize, everything will be all right.
What if he gets fresh again?
With a nice girl like you, how fresh can he get?
Oh, with a fellow like him, I'm not going to wait around to find out.
I don't like him myself. But you are just stubborn enough to go through the river and work at Grunwald's.
Why Grunwald's?
Because there the customer is never right. And the head waiter is my best friend. Oh, my darling.
Kathy! 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 Kathy!
Gentlemen, stop it.
Where is Kathy tonight?
Don't worry about Kathy. I myself will take care of everything. And the
Turn
girl-
around.
What?
Turn around.
Nah.
Step forward a little. That's enough.
Huh?
Sorry, you're no substitute for Kathy.
Where is she?
The truth, Rudar, the truth!
I sent her away this morning. She misbehaved. Struck one of the customers.
Well, if she did, he must have had it coming to him, huh?
Yes. He certainly did.
The young gentleman wants a beer.
No beer, Rudar.
No
we
beer.
want Kathy.
We want Kathy! 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 We want Kathy!
Where is she?
Where is who, Your Highness?
You know who, and you know where. Speak up, Rudar.
I can't. My lips are sealed. I promised. It's a matter of honor. You could torture me. Wild horses couldn't drag it out of me. But if Your Highness is really angry, I wouldn't blame you if you went across the river to Grunwald restaurant, right near the park. It wouldn't be my fault.
I'm just angry enough to do that, Herr Rudar.
The riverboat leaves every hour. Yeah. Oh.
Kathy, I'm terribly sorry.
I'm sorry, too. Now go away. One lentil soup.
I don't blame you for being angry, but it wasn't my fault.
I'm not angry. One Krausenack first.
It won't be as good as at your uncle's.
Then go back there.
Not without you.
Please stop it. You'll spill the soup.
Who is he?
I never saw him before in my life.
Outside. I don't know how he got in here, but get out the same way.
Quiet.
Outside!
Don't you shout at me.
Outside!
You'll regret this impertinence.
So will you. Outside.
Let me go. You'll get me fired.
Exactly why I'm here.
This may be a joke to you.
It isn't. You're leaving here with me if I have to drag you.
Let me go.
What's going on here?
She refused to take my order.
He tried to molest me.
Really, do I look like the sort of person who would do that kind of thing?
Frankly, yes. I know you students. A wild, irresponsible lot. I shall have to ask you to leave.
This is a public eating place.
I must ask you to leave.
And if I don't?
Oh, that's the way he always gets when he's been drinking. Pugnacious.
Outside, or I shall call the police.
Go ahead. Call the police.
It'll look fine in the papers. What will your grandfather say when he reads about it?
Outside. Oh, Kathy. What, did you cut yourself?
Don't touch me. Every time you come near me, I get in trouble.
Oh, clumsy fool. You stupid girl.
Don't talk to her like that.
Shut up. Look at those broken dishes.
Is that all you can think about? Suppose she broke her leg. Suppose she cut her face. Who cares about the dishes?
I do. Who'll pay for it?
If I feel in the mood, I may.
If you feel in the mood. Who do you think you are, the Kaiser?
No, but you're getting warm.
Oh, you crazy students are all alike. Big talk and no money. Out, or I throw you out.
Try it.
No fighting. Your grandfather wouldn't like it.
Even as a favor to your uncle. This is too much.
Oh, I'll pay for the dishes and I'll...
No! Turn in your uniform. You're through. I'm awfully sorry that this was just a very unfortunate incident. Please excuse, I must apologize.
Did he fire you?
Thanks to you, he did.
Good. Now you'll have to come back.
Only for tonight. Tomorrow I'll find another job.
Why, where are you going? The ferry landing's down this way.
I'm not going on the same boat with you.
But I have to get home, too. Do you want me to swim?
I don't care if you drown.
My grandfather wouldn't like it. Come on. We can have the same argument as we walk along.
I have nothing to say to you.
Kathy, please say something. Anything. It's a lovely night. I said it's a lovely night.
Yeah, lovely night.
Please come home, Kathy. The students are all waiting. They've sworn not to drink any beer unless you're there.
They'll change their minds when they get thirsty.
Well, what about me? It was awful this morning. I rang for breakfast, and you know what happened? Lutz came in with the tray.
How dreadful, but you can always pinch Lutz.
I could, but it's not as much fun. Kathy, I've never said this before, and it's very difficult for me. If I offended you last night, I'm sorry, and I apologize. Please come back.
It's better if I don't. No, listen. It's all right for you to pretend to be an ordinary student. Why, if things get too involved, you can always become a prince again. But I can't pretend. I can't be anything but just what I am.
But nobody wants you to be anything different. Please come back. I'll be on my best behavior. I promise.
I don't believe you.
You're still angry about last night. Last night when I kissed you, it wasn't the beer.
Overhead the moon is beaming, white as blossoms on the bough. Nothing is heard but the song of a bird, filling all the air with dreaming. Could I hear this song forever, calling to my heart anew, my darling, I see your face in the stars that shine above. The willows bending, the stars that shine, the shorelights blending, they're yours and mine. Drifting along in my heart, there's a song, and the song in my heart will not fade. Oh, hear my serenade, my moonlight serenade. Overhead the moon is beaming, white as blossoms on the bough. Nothing is heard but the song of a bird, filling all the air with dreaming. Could this beauty last forever? I would ask for nothing more. Believe me. Let this night not live forever.
His Highness has never been out so late. If anything happens to him, the king will shoot you.
That naturally.
But if I were king, I'd have you hanged.
Believe me, if you were king, I would hang myself.
It's the end of you, Ruda, the absolute end. How can you sit there calmly writing?
Calmly. I am writing my will.
Ah, Your Highness, you're back safe and sound.
And happy. Uncle Ruda, I brought Kathy home.
She's in her room and she's gonna stay. Oh, and Lutz, even though your interference has caused me a most enjoyable evening, in the future, don't interfere. And Ruda, from now on, ignore Lutz.
Lutz, I ignore you.
Just a minute, Herr Ruda, I warn you.
Just a minute, Herr Lutz. I warn you. Make any more trouble and talk to my niece, Kathy. And Kathy will talk to a friend, His Highness, and His Highness will talk to the grandfather, to the king, and the king will talk to the Kaiser, and the Kaiser will talk to the other Kaiser, and one Kaiser to the other, and you know what will happen to you. You will end up pressing pants in a second-hand clothing shop. Herr Lutz, I ignore you.
Strange things happen on a summer night when the bells begin to chime. It could happen to someone just like you down in Heidelberg in summertime.
What's going on up there?
Oh, Herr Franz is giving a little beer party for the Westphalians.
It's disturbing. Tell Herr Franz to keep quiet.
Uncle, Count von Osterberg is being disturbed. Tell Herr Franz to keep quiet.
That's it. Count from Osterburg is being disturbed. Tell Herr Franz to keep quiet.
And some red cabbage, Carl.
Yes, sir.
Please, Your Highness.
Oh, don't stop me now, Lutz. I forgot to order food.
Well, let me, Your Highness, please.
All right, then. Sausage and red cabbage for everybody, and hurry.
Instantly, Your Highness. Bruder?
Yeah?
His Highness wants sausage and red cabbage for everybody instantly.
You! Come here. What did I hear you say?
What song shall we sing for the day that is here? None better than Ergo Vivamus. There's plenty of reason for making good cheer. So out rings the ditty Vivamus. The heavens are blue and the clouds break away. Joy enters the door, all is blooming and gay. And there in our sight, all the glory of May, we chant with devotion, Vivamus. We chant with devotion, Vivamus.
You're the best tenor we've had in 4 semesters.
I have an uncle with the Berlin Royal Opera. When you're ready, maybe I could do something for you.
Well, thanks, Richter. That's a good thing to know.
What were you planning to do when you get out, Carl?
Go in the family business, I suppose.
Oh. Round and round, huh?
Round and round and round we go, drinks around the table. Lift the flag and let it flow, long as we are able.
Count von Osterberg. Gentlemen.
Ah, Count von Osterberg. Come in, join us. Boys, fill up.
To your Royal Highness.
In Heidelberg, I'm a student.
Also, Crown Prince of Carlsberg. Forgive me for failing to recognize your Highness.
I'm sorry you did. I enjoy being Herr Franz.
I'm sorry I spoiled your little joke. But your Highness will have even more fun with the Saxo-Barusians.
You forget, Count von Osterberg, I've already pledged myself to the Westphalians.
My dear Lucas, surely I don't have to explain to you that His Highness' rightful place is with us.
If your Highness wishes to change his mind, we will understand.
And give up my friends? Certainly not. I refuse to enter your corps. I'm perfectly satisfied with the Westphalians.
But it is completely against tradition.
Now, don't take it so seriously, Count. We're all at the same university and the same beer party. Let's enjoy ourselves.
Membership in the Saxo-Barusian Corps is not lightly offered, nor has it ever been refused. It is a serious matter to insult an entire corps. Fortunately for your Highness, I do not have the privilege of demanding satisfaction.
I grant you that privilege.
Carl, it's forbidden to duel with a member of a reigning house.
I'm a student here. I accept your challenge as Herr Franz. Lucas Richter, arrange for time and place. Deep enough?
Is the gentleman's honor satisfied?
It is.
Von Asterberg.
Your Highness.
Is it over?
It's a beautiful cut, straight as an arrow. He's very proud of it.
Kathy! Kathy, I'm all right.
You didn't have to worry.
Who says I'm worried? I'm not worried. Even if you'd been killed,
I'm sorry I upset you.
I'm not upset. It's a matter of complete indifference to me what happens to you.
Nobody has ever been so violently indifferent to me before.
It's so silly for grown men to try and kill each other for nothing.
It's the first time anyone's ever cried over me.
Deep in my heart, dear, I have a dream of you, fashioned of starlight, fragrant with roses and dew. Our paths may sever, but I'll remember forever. Deep in my heart, dear, I'll always dream of you.
I've waited a lifetime for someone to say the things you're saying to me.
And darling, I mean every word that I say. Just look in my eyes and you'll see.
You smile and my tears have all melted away. My worries were all false alarms.
It looks like the start of a beautiful day. Just holding you here in my arms.
With you every day is a beautiful day. As long as I'm here in your arms. Deep in my heart.
going like this for the rest of our lives, forever and ever and ever.
Oh, it would be wonderful, Carl, forever and ever and ever.
Well, why not? Kathy, come away with me.
Oh, I've always wanted to see the world. Do you think it's really round?
Kathy, I mean it. Come away with me.
Princes don't disappear. What would we do? Where would we go?
It doesn't matter. Everywhere, anywhere, we'd be together. Just the two of us, Kathy. Together.
Together? But it's impossible.
But why don't we try it? We can change at the inn. No one's there. The night train out of Heidelberg, Paris in the morning. They'd never find us. Oh, Kathy, I love you. There's nothing else that matters.
Oh, I adore you.
Come on. Kathy, hurry before anyone comes back. Hurry, Kathy, hurry.
Carl?
Kathy, what's the matter?
I can't go, Carl. Not to Paris, not any place.
But Kathy, a minute ago...
The carnival's over. It's not the same anymore. This is my uncle's inn. I'm Kathy Ruda. I work here. And you're His Highness Karl Franz. The world's not big enough for us to run away from that, Carl. They'd never let us alone in a week or a month.
But even a week is better than nothing. A day, an hour. They couldn't take that away from us. We'd have it for the rest of our lives.
No, Carl. No.
Tonight was just a masquerade. Tomorrow just another day. Let come whatever, tonight or never, I'll throw the mask away. Beloved, with all my heart I love you. With every breath I pray, someday you will be mine. Summer or spring, winter or fall, you are my life, my love, my all. Beloved, the very stars above you are jealous of the way your eyes sparkle and shine. Day after day, near or apart, I try to say, be still, my trembling heart. But try though I may, I cannot hide this passion inside that won't be denied. If this be madness, then call it madness. I only know I'll never rest till you are mine, beloved. Believe me when I tell you, from now until the last bright star fades from the blue, now and forever, whatever I do, beloved,
Kathy.
We must hurry.
I'm ready.
Your Highness. Forgive the intrusion, Your Highness. I have urgent instructions from His Majesty.
Urgent?
His Majesty is ill. He wishes to see you.
How long has he been ill, von Mark? How serious is it?
His Majesty is an old man. At his age, no illness is to be taken lightly. We can discuss it as we go.
Carl, it's the most... I beg your pardon.
Kathy, I have to go back to Carlsberg. But it's only for a little while. The Prime Minister has just come for me. My grandfather is ill. He's a husky old man. He'll live forever. I'll be back.
Of course.
I promise you I'll be back.
I know you will, Carl. It would have been a beautiful day.
There'll be many other days, Kathy. And each day more beautiful than the last. I'll be back.
You'll never come back.
His Highness Karl Franz.
Yeah. All right. Tell him to come in.
Your Majesty.
Your Highness. Yeah. Welcome home, Carl. Let me have a good look at you. Heidelberg obviously agrees with you. You're looking well.
What's more important is that you look well. Von Mark was so depressing that...
You expected to find a doddering old wreck wasting away in bed, did you? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. Von Mark is an alarmist. I'm considerably better, as you can see, and after a few weeks in Switzerland, I'll be quite myself again.
I'm so happy, Grandfather. For your sake as well as for mine. As you say, Heidelberg agrees with me, and I'm extremely anxious to get back.
You are not going back. This illness has made it quite clear to me that even I cannot go on forever. And it is not my intention to leave with important business unfinished. I have been in communication with the Queen. Your marriage will take place very shortly.
But, Grandfather...
The formal papers are being drawn up. The details have been arranged.
Except for one detail. I'm not in love with the princess.
It is of no importance.
It's of the utmost importance to me.
It's that little barmaid, isn't it?
How do you know about Kathy?
It's my business to know, my boy. I am not criticizing, but surely you can't take this seriously.
It is serious. I'm in love with Kathy.
Barmaids are as plentiful as gooseberries. There'll be plenty of other young ladies.
Not for me.
Then the princess will find you an unusually faithful husband.
And if I don't wish to marry?
This marriage is a state affair. I have never permitted personal feelings to interfere with duty. I demand the same conduct from you.
All my life I've been told what to do, and I've done it. But not anymore. I've had a taste of freedom.
Freedom is a luxury that no king can afford.
Then I don't want to be king.
And what else do you think you might be?
A man.
To run away from your duty, your training, Your obligation will hardly make a man of you. If you're not a king, you are nothing. Least of all, a man.
But, Grandfather...
I am not talking as your grandfather, but as your king. The discussion is over, Your Highness.
Your Majesty.
May those lips that are red and sweet tonight with joy my own lips meet.
How is His Majesty?
Splendid. He told me so himself. This was all a trick. We're going back to Heidelberg. Lutz, get the luggage. It was extremely clever of you, von Mark, to get me here by telling me His Majesty was ill. I'm going back to Heidelberg. You may tell His Majesty that.
Please, Your Highness, His Majesty is much too ill to be upset.
If he were really ill, I would not leave him. He's going on a trip to Switzerland.
Not Switzerland or any place else. The doctors will tell you that His Majesty is a great deal sicker than either you or he realizes.
How can I believe you, von Mark?
Your Highness suspects me of trickery. Your Highness is quite right. But I'm deceiving your grandfather, not you. I have served my king too long to have the heart to tell him what the doctors say. That it is a matter of a few days, an hour, any moment.
Day on, His helping hand I lean upon. This is my prayer, my humble plea. May the Lord be ever with me. There is no death, though eyes grow dim. There is no fear when I'm near to Him. I lean on Him forever, and He'll forsake me never. He will not fail me as long as my faith
Well, Lutz, I suppose everything is ready.
Your Majesty's luggage is already aboard the royal train.
Good.
The people of Carlsberg are waiting eagerly to welcome Princess Joanna as your bride. This marriage is a very happy event.
Is it, Lutz?
They've been waiting 2 years for it. I wish your Majesty every happiness.
Let's drink to that. It's all right, Lutz. Relax.
Is that a command, Your Majesty?
Not at all, but I wish you would.
Your wish is my command.
This is my bachelor party, Lutz. At a time like this, a man needs a friend. We are friends, aren't we?
I hope not, Your Majesty.
Well, the idea upsets you, Lutz?
Indeed it does, Your Majesty. It is an honor to put on a king's shoes, but I certainly wouldn't do it for a friend. If I must treat Your Majesty as an equal, then Hubert would treat me as an equal. And I assure Your Majesty, Hubert is not my equal.
Forgive me, Lutz. I shall endeavor to behave in a manner more suitable to the dignity of our relationship.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, Your Majesty. Please forgive me, but this is impossible. I'm much too old and fat to start wearing uniforms, and this... Oh, I must resign as Privy Councillor.
My dear Doctor, if you weren't a Privy Councillor, you couldn't be in the official party. And if you weren't in the official party, you couldn't come to Nordhausen. And if you weren't at Nordhausen, you couldn't be at the wedding. And then I couldn't have you as my best man. I'm afraid I must refuse your resignation.
What I go through for friendship.
Besides, you can't leave me alone with Lutz.
Why not?
He doesn't approve of me.
Oh.
Ever since Heidelberg. We thought of everything. Except that one day I'd have to come back and that I'd be changed. But that Carlsberg wouldn't be.
Perhaps after all, Heidelberg was a mistake.
I don't regret a minute of it.
Oh.
No, thank you, Lutz.
One moment. As a Privy Councillor, I'm not permitted to drink unless Your Majesty does. But if I can wear this uniform for you, surely you can drink a small brandy for my sake.
Silentium.
Silentium.
A salamander for the Privy Councillor. Long life.
And pleasant memories.
And pleasant memories. To Heidelberg.
Heidelberg.
Golden days in the sunshine of our happy youth. Golden days full of gaiety and full of truth. In our hearts we remember them, all else above. Golden days, days of youth and love. How we laughed with a joy that only love can bring. Looking back through memory's haze, we will know life has nothing sweeter than its springtime. Golden days when we're young. Golden days.
Well, good night, my boy. See you in the morning.
In the morning. At Nordhausen. Good night, Herr Doctor.
Good night.
Would have been a beautiful day.
There'll be other days, Kathy. And each day more beautiful than the last. be back.
Your Majesty.
Lutz, you will have the train stop at Heidelberg.
Me? But, Your Majesty, it's not on our schedule.
It is now, Lutz. It is now.
Kathy.
What are you doing here?
I'm on my way to Nordhausen. I'm going to be married.
Yes, I know it was in the papers. That's the way it should be. I never thought I'd see you again.
I told you I'd come back.
Yes, you did. That was when you were a student here. We lived in the same world.
It's all the world I ever wanted. And we nearly got away. Remember the night of the carnival?
Yes, I remember. Oh, it was a wonderful dream.
Now it's over. Everything's different.
Nothing has really changed here. Nothing except you and me. You're a king now.
I still love you, Kathy. I always will. And you?
No matter whatever happens, that will never change.
My only love.
Your first love.
Goodbye, Kathy.
Goodbye, Your Majesty.
Gaudeamus. Let us rejoice while we are young.